This tutorial is part 4 for assignment 4-3 pay stub. In this tutorial, you are going to enter information into the earnings section. Let's take a look at the earnings section, which is right over here. Here is some information you need to know. Your employee worked Monday through Friday for 2 weeks. In addition, the employee worked 1 day of overtime and 1 holiday, all in the same pay period. Put your cursor in cell E10. You are going to calculate how many regular hours your employee worked during the 2-week pay period. A regular day is usually 8 hours. The employee worked Monday through Friday for 2 weeks. How many regular hours would that be? In this tutorial, I am not going to put answers in cells. I am just going to guide you through the tutorial as to where to put the information, but you are going to do the calculations on your own. Now put your cursor in cell F10. You need to type the amount of money that your employee gets paid per hour, and this could be any amount. It could be $20, it could be $35.75. You need to figure out the amount because you are the owner of this company. Put your cursor in cell G10. You are going to enter a formula to calculate the amount. This would be the hours times the rate. Remember, you do not type the actual numbers. You type the cell address that holds the numbers. If you need a refresher on how to enter formulas, please go back to assignment 4-2. Now put your cursor in cell E13. How many hours overtime did your employee work? Put your cursor in cell F13. You are going to enter a formula to calculate overtime at a rate of 1.5 times the regular rate. Your formula needs to have the cell address for the regular rate and multiply that by 1.5. Put your cursor in cell G13. You are going to enter a formula to multiply the number of overtime hours times the overtime rate. Remember to use cell addresses in your formula, not the actual numbers. Put your cursor in cell E14. How many hours did your employee work on the holiday? Enter that number in the cell. Put your cursor in cell F14. Enter a formula to calculate the holiday rate at 2 times the regular rate. Your formula needs to have the cell address for the regular rate and multiply that by 2. Put your cursor in cell G14. Enter a formula to multiply the holiday hours by the holiday rate. Remember not to use actual numbers in your formula. Use cell addresses. Now put your cursor in cell M15. This is the earnings total. You are going to enter a formula from the function menu to add up all of the earnings in the earnings section. Remember to keep your cursor in cell M15 because that's where you want the answer to appear. So click on the function drop-down menu and choose Sum because we're going to add up some items. Instead of typing the cell address in this formula, we're going to select the range of cells, and the amounts are going to be in this column. So I'm going to click in the first cell and drag down. You should see a green dashed line around the cell range. Press Enter to confirm the range and the answer will appear in cell M15. My answer is 0 because I don't have any amounts in my range of cells. You should have an answer in cell M15. This is the end of this tutorial. Remember to save your work.